Welcome to the Happy Rebel podcast, where we explore the realms of finding your calling, living your values, and doing the work of self-healing. Through candid conversations with fellow seekers, we'll uncover ideas and concepts that challenge, expand, and empower us to embrace our authentic selves and live with intention. Hi there, I'm Kelly Street, owner of Happy Rebel and your guide on this journey. I'm known for my insatiable curiosity and tendency for pushing boundaries. I've always been a challenger, eager to question the status quo and explore the uncharted territories of personal growth. So join me as we navigate the twists and turns of life's journey, seeking out the wisdom and insights that illuminate our path towards fulfillment and rebellion against the ordinary. Before we get started, I want to remind you to connect with me on Instagram at Happy Rebel, where you can ask questions and share your thoughts. Remember, you are never alone on your path to becoming a happy rebel. This is the Happy Rebel Podcast. Today's episode is all about self-love. So let's start with giving back to yourself for just a minute before we talk about ways that you can love yourself more deeply. So close your eyes and take a deep breath in, feeling your lungs expand. Slowly exhale, releasing tension. Place your hand over your heart, feeling its steady rhythm, the quiet reminder that you are here, that you are alive, that you are enough. With your next inhale, imagine a soft, warm light glowing in your chest, a light of love, kindness, and self-acceptance. As you exhale, let go of self-judgment, of harsh expectations. With every inhale, breathing in, I am worthy. And with every exhale, just as I am. I am worthy just as I am. Let this warm light in your chest expand, filling your entire body with warmth and care, as if you're wrapping yourself in a gentle embrace. When you're ready, open your eyes, carrying this feeling of self-love with you through this conversation and into your day. Welcome. Today, as I'm putting this out, is Valentine's Day. So on Valentine's Day, with my heart sweater that I've got on, Valentine's Day should be just as much about self-love as it is love for other people. And I recognize that I haven't always loved myself or loved myself well. I see in all the people I work with and people in my life that they also don't really always love themselves. To me, self-love really is this journey. It's a lifelong journey because as things change, as your life circumstances change, as your body changes, as your abilities change with age and illness, you have to continue coming back to, how can I love myself even in this? We often seek love externally, but what happens when we turn inward and we can cultivate that love within and for ourselves? So today is going to be short and sweet. Here are 5 simple but powerful ways to start loving yourself more. So first one is find something about yourself that you like and focus on it. So instead of fixating on what you wish were different, what you could change, that 5 pounds that you want to lose, shift your attention. I say that because I would love to lose another 5 pounds. Anyway, shift your attention to what you appreciate. So even in that moment, see, even there, I go to this place of what I would like to be different. And do you know what? In this moment, what I will focus on is the things that I like about myself. I like my freckles. I like my laugh. I like how strong I am and all of my resilience with everything that I've been through in my life. So just changing that framework. So in those moments where you're being hard on yourself or you're judging yourself for not being enough, not doing enough, all the things you think need to be different about yourself, instead come back to, okay, what is one thing I like about myself in this moment? Maybe I don't love it yet. Maybe I'm not just like, oh, this is the best thing ever about me, but it's something that I do like about myself. It's really cool when it's something about your personality or something about how you move through the world. Like maybe you have this amazing sense of humor. So focus on that. And then from that sense of humor, you can turn your gaze outward and you can go, okay, not only do I have an amazing sense of humor, I also look so beautiful when I laugh. And this self-love, or cultivating self-love in this way, isn't about vanity. It's not necessarily about what are all these physical attributes that I like about myself, even though they can be physical. It's more about accepting all of our form, all of these different aspects of ourself. And the more that we can acknowledge what we love or what we like, the more that that love or like is going to expand and build and build and build upon itself. We sometimes get into these really negative spirals where we're only thinking about the things that need to be fixed or changed, and that can build on itself. Well, what happens when you start putting things into the like or the love pile instead of the what needs to be different or change pile? Give it a try. Okay, number 2 on this journey to self-love, use repetition to rewire your mind. So, as a kid, when my brother and I would get in trouble, my parents had this interesting way of punishing us. One of the ways, and one of those ways, besides a timeout, would be that they would have us write sentences. And so if it was something about being disrespectful, we would have to write 100 times, I will not be disrespectful to mom or dad. And as a kid, it was just this thing where you're like sitting at the kitchen table and you're just grinding away at it. And you're like getting so mad and just so frustrated and just really like, But maybe now I can use that skill that I cultivated in childhood as superpower instead of as a punishment. So repeating positive affirmations, whether you're doing this in a journal or just a scrap piece of paper, or even saying it out loud, will help you rewrite those limiting beliefs. So for example, you could, if you're really struggling of coming from a place of self-love, you could just write out 5 or 10 times, I am enough. I am worthy of love. I trust myself. The other day, I didn't push as hard as I told myself I could in a workout. And I went upstairs to where I journal. I have this little altar space, and I sat down with my journal and I wrote, my body is good enough. My body is good enough. My body is good enough. And that just helped me shift my focus from being critical to saying, no, I did what I could that day. Words shape our reality. So why not use them to build yourself up? Simple, right? Okay, number 3, perform small acts of self-kindness. So we often show our love through actions. You know, I think people aren't talking about it quite as much right now, but there was a repopularization of the book Love Languages. And so thinking about what is your love language? Is it gifts? Is it acts of service? Is it time? Is it attention? Is it touch? Think about what your own love language is of those 5 things and show yourself love through those actions. So one of the ways that I used my own love language to perform a small act of self-kindness was that I love getting flowers. Love getting flowers. It feels really good to me. I love having flowers in the house, just those like fresh. It's so beautiful having, especially kind of in the winter, where there's not much color outside, having that color in my house and that life just is a little bit of reminder that I need that spring will come or that summer will come. And so for a while there, I was getting myself flowers every once in a while. And it was just a small act of self-kindness that brought me a little love and light, where I could get really frustrated and annoyed that I wasn't getting that from my husband or from a friend or from anyone. And so I gave it to myself instead. And then it became something that was a special treat for me. Sure, it feels great to get flowers from somebody else, but have you ever given flowers to yourself? So you can do this in other ways, like making a nourishing meal, taking a break when you're feeling overwhelmed. And if you're in that state of getting frustrated and starting to have that negative self-talk come up, you can just go, okay, I need to take a breather. I'm going to meditate for 5 minutes. I'm going to go for a walk for a minute. I'm just going to stand up and stretch. All of these acts of self-kindness are really just treating yourself the same way that you would treat a friend or a partner. And these little gestures, they seem so small, but they really accumulate into building deep self-trust and love internally. Truly. Number 4, redirect negative thoughts with neutrality or neutral language. Our minds have really been conditioned to criticize, but we can retrain that. So instead of the harsh self-talk that you're doing, try neutral statements or redirection. This is almost like the writing sentences, but it's really just catching yourself in the moment. You look in the mirror, you're getting ready for work, you didn't sleep well, and you say to yourself, I look awful today. Instead, you can either catch yourself and go, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm not going there. Snap out of it. I don't look awful today. I look fine. I look fine. Or maybe I do look tired. Who the F cares about how I look a little bit more tired today? Boom. Or you can take that statement of I look awful today into I have a body that carries me through life. Or you make a mistake at work, let's say, and you start to say to yourself, God, I'm such a failure, or I'm such an idiot. Nope, stop. I'm learning and growing every day. I'm learning and growing every day. Even if you can't be overly positive, and I never suggest that people move into that state of, fake it till you make it toxic positivity. I don't really know that works all that well. Instead of going overly positive, go neutral. Neutral will stop the spiral and it will shift your mindset just enough. Okay, last but not least, 5. Forgiveness, releasing the past to move forward. True self-love comes with letting go of the weight that we carry, holding ourselves accountable for past mistakes or regrets or guilt. Accountability and integrity are great and they're beautiful, but when you're punishing yourself for the things that you did, mistakes that you made, you're not being in a place of self-love, and you're not really able to move forward in life until you can allow yourself to move on from things that you said or did. So for example, in high school, I was bullied, and I would also sometimes turn that filter toward other people, of the bully filter. And so one time I was really mad and hurt by this girl that I used to be friends with, and I called her a name. I said something about how she looked physically that was just mean. It was something that she couldn't help. And I carry a lot of guilt and weight from that. And I'm realizing that it's time for me to let it go. So what I am doing, what I'm working on, is sending that person healing energy, sending her an apology, meditating on forgiveness for myself, but also energetically asking for forgiveness from her. I might take the extra step actually and send her a Facebook message and just tell her that I know that what I said was hurtful. I might not do that because she might not even be in the place where she cares anymore. And it might just be something that I'm carrying and I don't need to dredge that up. But I will say that I am working on the self-forgiveness so that I can let it go. And so that I can release that attachment to feeling like I'm a jerk or I did something bad, and that needs to carry through. Forgiveness isn't just for others. It's also for yourself. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love. So in closing, self-love is not a one-time achievement. It really is a daily practice. Maybe start with just one of these 5 things and see how it shifts your relationship with yourself. If you can focus on just one of these 5 things, one every single day, just doing one of them, see if that causes a shift. So I challenge you with, what's one thing you can do today to show yourself love? Thank you so much. And just one more thing before I go that I want to mention is, if you haven't been to the Happy Rebel website in a while or ever, and you've just been listening to the podcast, please go to the website and check out our free guided 10-minute meditations that are available, as well as I just launched a free guidebook with multiple meditations and 5 guided activities that you can do to engage more with your shadow side and embrace the dark and the light in yourself. So head to happyrebel.com and check that out. Thank you. Thank you for being part of the Happy Rebel podcast community. Stay connected with us on Instagram at Happy Rebel. If you've enjoyed our episodes, please consider rating, liking, and reviewing the podcast. It truly does help us grow. Until next time, this is Kelly Street. Remember, embrace the dark and the light.